So, everybody's racing towards AI, right? But what if I told you the biggest hurdle isn't some fancy new algorithm? It's your data. Today, we're going to talk about a massive hidden cost that could stop your AI plans dead in their tracks. And it's called data debt. So, let me just ask you point blank. Is your business really ready for artificial intelligence? You'd think that's a simple yes or no question, but, well, as you're about to find out, the answer is anything but simple.
All right, let's get right into it, because this is where it gets really interesting. A survey from Drexel University, it found this huge disconnect. Get this, you've got 87% of leaders out there saying, oh yeah, we're totally AI ready. But then you ask the same group of people what their biggest roadblock is, and 42% of them say it's their infrastructure. That's not a gap, my friends, that is a canyon.
And this is what we're calling the AI readiness paradox. It's like everyone's bought a ticket for a rocket ship to the moon, but nobody's actually built the launch pad yet. The excitement is just way out ahead of the actual prep work.
And look, the stakes here are incredibly high. This isn't some academic exercise. For 52% of companies, AI is the main reason they're even doing anything with their data. Just let that sink in. Over half of all data programs are being designed around AI. So if that foundation is shaky, the whole thing could just come crashing down.
So, what is this crack in the foundation we're talking about? Well, it has a name, data debt. And you should think of it just like credit card debt, but for your data. You know, all those little shortcuts, all those we'll fix it later decisions, they all add up with interest. And right now, it's probably the biggest hidden threat to getting any real value out of your AI. Okay, to be super specific, the report calls it data quality debt. It's what happens when you keep kicking the can down the road on investing in the basics, in solid data infrastructure. What do? You get messy, inconsistent, and frankly, untrustworthy data. It's that whole, that's a problem for future me mindset. And guess what? The future is now.
You know, this quote from a case study on a tech company called Harmonic, it really brings this whole thing to life. They basically realized that all the quick and dirty fixes they'd made over the years to just get through the day, well, those fixes had turned into this massive, tangled mess that was impossible to manage. And Harmonic's situation is just a perfect picture of what this data debt actually looks like in the real world. I mean, we're talking about systems that are over 20 years old. They were so heavily customized that they were totally inflexible. Some of their stuff hadn't been supported by the vendor since 2005. Imagine that. Just trying to apply a basic security patch felt like a high-wire act. That is data debt.
And here's the kicker. Harmonica is not some rare exception. That same Drexel survey we talked about found that 43% of leaders, yeah, that's nearly half, say that their data readiness is the #1 thing stopping them from getting any actual business value from AI. The bill for all that data debt is coming due, and it's happening everywhere.
Okay, so how do you fix this? How do you even start to pay down this mountain of debt? Well, it all starts with one super important idea: governance. Now, don't let the word scare you. It's just about bringing some order to the chaos. It's about setting up rules of the road for your data, knowing who's accountable. It's really the engine that builds trust. And the difference it makes is just huge. Look at the numbers. Companies that have a real data governance program in place, they trust their data 71% of the time. The ones that don't, that trust level drops all the way down to 50%. A coin flip. So this isn't about red tape. It's about being able to actually believe what your data is telling you. And here's the secret sauce. The report points to this elite group of companies they call innovators. So what makes them so special? It's not one thing. They don't just have a plan, and they don't just have the rules. They have both, and they're working together perfectly. That combo, that's how you get to the top. So let's go back to Harmonic and see how this actually works in practice. They were staring down this crippling data debt, and they knew that just patching things up wasn't going to cut it. So they went for something radical, a total transformation. It's a great blueprint for how to do this right.
And they were super smart about it. They set these really clear goals. First, become more agile. Second, make sure everything could scale up. Third, give people access on any device. And fourth, make their whole IT operation more competitive. See, this wasn't just about cleaning up a mess. It was about building for what's next.
So instead of chipping away at that mountain of debt one little piece at a time, Harmonic basically decided to just rip the Band-Aid off. They did what's called a big bang migration, a really bold move to completely replace their old systems and get everyone in sync all at once. You know, sometimes you just have to go all in.
But okay, let's say you do all that. You get the best tech, you write the best rules. There's still one more piece. And honestly, it might be the most important one.
You can build a palace, but if you don't have anyone who knows how to live in it, what's the point? We're talking about the people.
And the skills people are missing, it's not what you'd think. It's not about finding one super genius coder. Look at the top 3 missing skill sets. Actually deploying AI on a large scale, making sure that AI is responsible and compliant, and this is a big one, translating what the business actually needs into an AI solution. The numbers are practically tied, which tells you everything. You need a mix of skills: tech, compliance, and business.
So the big takeaway here is pretty simple. Winning with AI isn't a solo sport. It's not about hunting for that one mythical unicorn employee. It's about building a balanced team, a group of people who can connect the dots between the cool tech and what the business actually needs to get done.
And really, it all boils down to this one powerful idea from the report. The winners in this new economy, they won't be the ones who just slap AI onto everything the fastest. No. The winners will be the ones who get their data right first.
So that really just leaves one final question for you to think about. As your company rushes into this AI future, you have to ask yourself, what are we building on? Is it a solid foundation of good data, a bedrock, or is it all just built on sand?